G'day and welcome back to this introductory tutorial on how to use the Battlefield Manager system for ALiVE. In this video we're just going to go over the last three modules that we haven't discussed yet. The Ambient Artillery, Ambient Aviation and Custom ALiVE Settings modules. The Custom ALiVE Settings module is fairly straightforward. It does what it says on the tin. It allows you to customize some of the parameters of the ALiVE virtual combat system in a way that you can't in the default ALiVE modules. So movement speed and combat rate are both available in the ALiVE modules, but they are drop-down menus with 4 or 5 options. Here you're able to put in an arbitrary value, and I've found that actually the BFM system tends to create more immersive and realistic scenarios if this combat rate is turned down quite a lot. So units will spend a lot of time skirmishing at the front, and the front will evolve more slowly. But you can set these values to any value that you choose. So that's that. The combat range is obviously the range between which virtual units can engage each other. The default value for ALiVE is 225 meters. But if you find that your units are not engaging over the front line, it might be that this value is too small. So turning this value up to 500 or 700 meters allows you to simulate longer range skirmishing with heavy 50 cal weapons or something similar. Just be careful how high you make this value, because the bigger you make the value, the more load it will put on the server, and the more units will be locked into combat and they won't be able to move around. But I've found that 500 to 700 meters tends to create a reasonably good balance. Moving on to the Ambient Artillery module. This module, again, what it says on the tin, creates randomized artillery strikes at objectives along the front line. And those objectives are weighted based on how valuable those points are. So higher value targets are more likely to be shelled than lower value targets. And this enables you to set sort of the average size of a strike in terms of the number of shells and the duration over which those strikes occur, and then the sort of average interval between separate strikes. So that's all fairly straightforward. And finally, the Aviation module does something similar. It creates ambient fly passes of aviation assets over the frontline points. And you're able to define which classes of vehicle you want in your battle space. The easiest way that I've found to populate that list is to simply find the assets that you want in the editor. If we take the A10 equivalent, place it without a crew, and then you can log the class to the clipboard. Just go drop that into there with quotes, and you can make a list with these drop down menu. You can create a list of arbitrary numbers of units, and they will spawn randomly at the commander's location and then fly a patrol of the front line in different sized groups and in different frequencies. So if I hit go on that, so here we are in Zeus, and you can see that our ambient aviation assets have spawned in, and they are going to conduct a patrol of the front line and then return to their point of origin. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope that's been helpful.